What is going on, everybody? My name is Jorge Rodriguez, and I am the host of the Shutter Hustle podcast. And thank you so much for tuning in and listening or watching wherever you may be. I appreciate you. And if you have yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast, please go ahead and do that now before you forget. We're going to be bringing in a lot of industry experts, a lot of photographers from either the local area or out of state, so they can share their knowledge and share their journey with you. So that way you can get that information, and hopefully it'll help make your business grow and take it to the next level. But we're excited today to talk about a crucial topic that anybody in our industry has a passion and should have a passion, and that's never devaluing your work. Me personally, as a photographer, I take this very, very personal because I've been there where I've charged next to nothing just to get the booking, and it's led to a lot of headaches, a lot of moments where I just wanted to quit because the workload was way too high, the demand was way too high for the bookings that I took. In order for me to build a product that I was very happy and put out there for my clients, I had to make sure that everything was perfect. And that took a lot of time and energy from me personally, that booking too many bookings at a very low price had a negative impact in my mind and in my health. I didn't get sick or anything like that, but it just put me in a spot where I just wanted to quit photography in general. There was one year where I booked almost 42 events for the year, and it was a crazy thing because there were some weekends that were just back to back, and I had to make sure that I kept up with the demand. And I'm the photographer, I'm the editor, and I'm everything else. I wear multiple hats in my business. And it got to the point where I got to reflect, and once that year finished and I caught up on all my work, I took the time to reflect and say I never wanted to do that. And that's when I started increasing my rates, because I had the workflow and the backlog as proof that I'm able to do a quality product for my clients. But I don't want to attract clients that don't value the work or just are looking for a bargain or a cheap photographer. And if you're one of those affordable photographers, it's great. Somebody's got to start somewhere, right? Everybody has to start with a certain price point, but take the time to value and to evaluate where you're at and look at your craft and see what you have to do to take it to the next level. And hopefully today, some of the talking points that we are going to be discussing helps and motivates you to take it to that next level and start valuing your work the right way and the amount that it should be, or what you should be charging for your work. So, and one of the topics that I wanted to briefly talk about was the quality over quantity. Now, again, like I mentioned, I had booked over 40 events in 1 year, and my price point was, I think, for photo and video, a 10-hour service was a little under $4,000. Now, that's crazy now in hindsight that I go back and reflect, and as I was preparing for this show and trying to come up with the talking points that I wanted to discuss, it's very hard for me to go back to that time in that year. And that year was 2019, one of my hardest years. Yes, I had a lot of great clients, a lot of memories that I helped create, but it was a burnout for me because I had more quantity and I did not want to drop the quality, because this is my year one going into it full time. Yes, I'm 10 years in, but 7 of those years were my part-time because I was afraid of going full-time, not knowing that if I was going to be able to sustain a business. So I started it off as a hobby, as most of us do, start off as a hobby, and then gradually work my way into it becoming my full-time. And my year one, I booked so many events that I was in over my head because I didn't want to put out a product that was going to either leave a negative review on my pages, my social media pages, or I was going to continue to attract the clients that didn't value the work. And one of the reasons why now I've went ahead and increased my rates is because I want to enhance the reputation and the trust within my community, right? I want to make sure that I bring in the clients that will value me and my work, because there is no such thing as the perfect client. That doesn't exist. You have to create the perfect client, and enhancing that reputation and that trust. Your clients will value you and make you the reason why they want to hire, not just because you take pretty pictures or you have good customer service, which all of that is important, don't get me wrong. But you want to enhance that trust and that reputation that you are the person, the gal, the guy, to be able to achieve that whatever, event, quinceañera or wedding, that you're going to be the one that can manage that for them. Because doing that also increases the client satisfaction and retention. You provide a high quality product, your clients are going to be satisfied. And when clients are satisfied, they're going to want to leave glowing reviews or speak highly of you. Or whenever somebody in their circle says, "Hey, I'm looking for a photographer. We're getting married. We're planning my daughter's quinceañera," whatever the situation may be, they're going to want to refer you because of that experience that you gave them, because the trust that they have in you as a photographer or videographer. They're going to want to continue to refer you. And that's one of the things that I noticed, that once I focus my brand over the quality over the quantity, I was able to retain more clients that valued the work, and they spoke so highly, and they continue to speak highly about our services, that I'll get inquiries indicating that so and so referred me and they spoke very highly of you and they love your gallery, and they show, they just talk so highly of you that it gives you that good feeling that, I'm priced at a higher price point because my work is worth the time, right? And having a higher price point not only means you get to get people that value your work, but it also gives you the time to make sure that the product is perfect. Meaning, you don't have to have so many revisions, or you don't have to spend extra time trying to fix so many galleries or produce galleries just to kind of get them out, right? Just what they call shoot and burn. It helps you reduce the time. It helps you reduce the energy you're spending editing, and allows you to focus a little bit more on personal growth or family time, if that's important to you as well. It is to me, but it allows you to grow more as a business person. And I mentioned the family time, and that's the other reason why you should never devalue your work, because one of the assets that we can never get back is time. The more you're stuck behind a computer, the more you're either gone on the weekend, at events, right? That's time away from your family. And time is a valuable asset that we can never get back. Consider all the time that you're spending on planning, editing, marketing. Nowadays, is even creating reels and having fun, right? You want to make sure that you are pricing yourself where you're managing and you're growing the business, but you still have the time and flexibility to be with your family, or to learn a new craft, or improve your craft, or look for ways to grow your business, right? And understanding the opportunity of the cost, it can be associated with the time you're spending every single minute behind a computer editing, right? I know some of the times me personally speaking, I dread being hours behind a computer. I have to go and keep my mind busy. I love editing, but there's no way of, if I have 5 events and then sessions in my backlog, that I'm going to be able to go and hang out with my children or learn something new. And realizing that every hour spent, behind the computer is time taken away from improving your skill sets. So make sure that you understand the reasons why, valuing yourself to where you're happy and you're able to have the time and flexibility to learn something else. It's very important. Put that as a priority for yourself. And another reason why you should value your time is because you need to learn how to effectively manage your time while editing or while producing your client's work. And some of the things that I do is I block out time on my calendar to edit or create an Instagram reel or a TikTok, whatever you're into. I try to be on all social medias, try to do something different for every social media page that I have. So that in itself takes time to do. And if you're busy, 24/7 behind a computer, editing and trying to keep up with client deadlines, you're not going to have the time to be able to do that. So look for ways to, like I said, block out your calendar for certain hours. That way you can start creating other means of growth in your business. And one of the last things that I think why you should never undervalue your products or services is because of the sustainability. Now, again, I was burnt out. I was at a point where I wanted to quit and not do photography anymore because I just couldn't keep up with the demand. That's one of the reasons, again, why I decided to start increasing my rates, because I wanted to make sure that I sustain myself through the workload that I came in. Now I try not to book more than 2 events per month. And that's crazy because there'll be a couple months where I don't have anything, but I'm okay with that because I've built the business in a way where I have revenue coming in every month where I can still continue to look for opportunities to grow and look for ways to expand my business, right? Because the last thing I want anybody to do is burn themselves out. And self-care is very important, right? I take the time every single day during my lunch hour to at least give myself 60 minutes to work out or go for a walk or just disconnect from social media, just disconnect. Because as human beings, we need to make sure that our mental health is first. Once we start burning out and not being as passionate for the craft, we just start losing focus on the real reason why we became photographers, why we're following this passion. Looking for opportunities on how to grow the business is kind of one of those things that I do when I just get away. I think about different strategies. I not focusing on just the editing or what I have next to accomplish on my to-do list, on my daily to-do tasks, but just looking for ways on how I can make the business grow. And one of the things that I started doing in 2022 is I introduced IPS into my business, which helps kind of balance out the bookings, right? Because now I'm offering a product and service, whether it's a print or an album, anything that a tangible asset that I can provide the client. I've introduced that to help kind of balance out the money that has not come in from booking clients that are just looking for a affordable photographer. Now, don't get me wrong. Everybody's got to start somewhere, right? We all start from the bottom and working our way up, and that's completely acceptable and that's fine, right? But just take the time after every event to look back, reflect, and see what you can improve. And little by little, you start increasing your pricings. So that way you can catch up with the industry norm, right? Because we all want to be on the same playing field. And if we're all offering competitive prices, now it's going to be more of okay, who is the best fit for me? And being able to raise your prices to keep up with anybody else, you should be proud of yourself because now you're officially a legit business and you want to bring in people that really value your work. So definitely want to make sure that you never undervalue yourself, just because there's a lot of reasons that A, you can have a burnout, B, you can have no family time if you have a lot of work to keep up with, and C, you want to make sure you stay in this industry for a while, and the sustainability is very important, right? So yeah, that's kind of a very quick conversation that I wanted to have today. I hope you guys found this information a little bit useful, and I would love to hear any comments or feedbacks in the comment section. If this was helpful, or if this podcast that you listened to was helpful for you, do me a favor, rate and review our our podcast, and leave a comment, because that's gonna be I go back and read the comments, and this helps me improve the show better for you for the next one. So y'all stay tuned, man. This is gonna be a fun ride. There's gonna be more episodes every week coming up, different subjects that we're gonna talk about. So until then, y'all take care. Peace.